Hey guys, how you doing? It's Elliott. Today I'm going to talk to you about the 8 things that you must know to crush it selling cars. And listen, as I go over these 8 things, they're right here. A lot of you guys, you're like, all right, man, what are those 8 things? And right now, you're just zooming down them and checking them out. Look, let me tell you this, okay? Understanding them and seeing them are 2 separate things. This entire video, I'm going to, give you the 8 things that you must know. But secondly, I'm going to explain them in depth to you, so if you want to become one of the top salesmen in the country, you can. I want to read a quote to you, all right? And this is something, it's over here written on my wall. I look at it every day. Let me tell you why. Abraham Lincoln said this: the best way to predict your future is to create it. I want you to think about that. Don't take that sentence idly. The best way to predict your future is to create it, which means that your future is in your hands. And if you don't create it, someone else will. And most of the time, people run through life and they don't create it. We can predict your future whether you create it right now or not. So why would we want to watch this whole video? Because these 8 things will create you crushing it selling cars. But if you don't get these 8 things, you'll never create your future, so we will know what your future is going to look like. Guys, follow me. These 8 things are going to be, now's the time. What does that mean? I'm going to get into it in a second, but that means that we're in the era for salesmen to destroy it. Secondly, I'm going to get into hard work versus smart work. Thirdly, I'm going to get into the skill of selling, which is everything. But number 4, which is closing and negotiating, if you can't close a screen door, I don't care how great of a salesman you are. Fifthly, we're going to talk about the ability to be creative. The ability to be creative is something that most salesmen have lost or have never learned how to do. The 1%ers know how to be creative. All right, and then I'm going to talk about a bank account here. And I put life next to it. And what that kind of means is that your life is like a bank account. If you don't deposit anything to your life, can you withdraw anything out of it? No. If you don't deposit any money in the bank, can you take money out of the bank? No. This is your life. So I want to talk about the things that we need to put into our life so that we can what? Create, and so we can predict what our future is going to look like. All right? Number 7, belief. Guys, there's too many double-minded people in the sales industry. One day you're thinking this way, the next way you're thinking this way, all right? I wrote a little sentence here. This is something that I've lived by for a long time. It says, I'd rather make a bad decision than make no decision at all. I want to tell you this. Belief right here, being double-minded, a lot of people are afraid to make a decision. You know what that means? That means decide, do you want to go get a 40 to 50 grand a year corporate job, good paying hourly gig, and give up the vacations, give up the paying your house off early, give up the giant life that you could have? Or do you want to come and venture on this side? It's a beautiful life, and it's a road that's not traveled a lot, right? And guess what? You can kill it, but you can't be double-minded and jump from one to the other like most do, all right? And then the potential. Number 8 is going to be the potential that this business offers for those who are serious, all right? So check this out. This piece of paper right here, what I have here is that I have wrote down the 4 types of salespeople that there are in our industry. So if you're selling cars, here's what I want you to do. Down below, you're going to see a little link. Here's what I want you to do. Click on that link, and I am going to send you, and I actually typed it out nice and pretty for you, okay? So you don't have to get this one. But I'm going to print you the 4 types of sales. I'm going to give you the PDF to the 4 types of salespeople that there are in our industry. And what I want you to do is identify who you are and where you're at so you know where you're going, okay? So click the link below. All you're going to do is get that little PDF, and I want you to read through it and identify what out of the 4 types of salespeople, where you're at and where do you want to be. And I think that you'll get a lot of value out of it, and I think that you'll love it. And that actually is the part of the piece that I'll be giving you. It's actually part in our 0 to 100,000 Fast course, okay? So you can see that and kind of get an idea what type of salesperson you are and what are the 4 types of salespeople in car sales. All right, let's rock and roll. Number 1, now's the time. Foremost, we are in the era of the worst salesman in the history of time. When I started this business 23 years ago, okay, it kind of looked like this. This was the people that sucked. All these other people were great. So you see this right here? This little pie? We'll call this suck. This big pie, these were the guys that we'll call these animals. These girls and guys were making big money. And guess what? It was rare to see somebody that was actually in the car business that wasn't great at selling cars. They just didn't hire them, okay? Honestly, it was too hard of a job for you to come in if you weren't great at selling cars. Now, let's go to like 2010, okay? The last 10 years. It kind of went 50-50. It was like 50 were great, 50 sucked, okay? And we still had some guys in it that were grinding it out, that were doing great, that had tons of skill, that were great closers. And then we had half the staff, right? That was kind of like, maybe making a little bit of money, but then, the next month they'd go broke, and then they'd make a decent check again, and then they were thinking about quitting the next month. And it was kind of a cycle. Now, why do you always hear me talk about the 1%er? I talk about the 1%er because this is how it is now. You see that? That little piece of pie right there. This is the salesman that train and learn skill. The rest of them, they just run around here and talk about they want to make all the money, but guess what? They're the other 99%. And by default, if you don't decide to become a 1%er, you will fall into the other 99%. With that being said, now's the time. We are in the era of the worst salesman ever. You can step up, raise your hand, and say, I want to become the best and I want to crush it. And guess what? Right now, you will, and you will kill it, and you will draw massive attention to yourself, and you'll have a beautiful life. The era is there. 20 years ago, you would have decided, hey, I want to kill it. And guess what? You'd have been fighting everybody. Now, you don't have anybody to fight. It's easy. It's there. But guess what? You have to make a commitment. All right. We talked about now's the time. Second of all, let's talk about hard work versus smart work for a minute. You guys, working hard and going to work does not mean being busy. Being productive is what matters. So, there's tons of ways that you can go to work and work hard. You can go work your service drive. You can go work your internet BDC department for leads. You can go call equity mining list, high interest list. You can go call lease return list, right? You can go take turns and stand out on the lot whenever it's nice weather outside, right? Because you're figuring, hey, this is a good traffic time. We actually got some nice weather and it's winter. I'm gonna go outside and take some fresh ups. You can do whatever, but at any point in time that you're not specifically trading your time that you're at work for a specific return, which is how to turn a dollar into another dollar, into another dollar, into another dollar, if it's not efficient and effective hard work, then it's just sitting around and it's wasting time. So I want to tell you, make sure that your smart work is included into your hard work. It can't just be hard work running around. You have to know that. This is one of the things that most people confuse is that, man, I'm working a lot of hours. Dude, hard work and working a lot of hours are two completely separate things. I would rather you cut your time in half at work and work 10 times harder when you're there. There's 60 minutes in an hour, work 60 minutes in that hour and destroy it. All right, the skill of selling. This is missing in our industry, okay? We are not salespeople. Do you know what we are? We are influencers and we are persuaders. It is our job to tell a customer that this is the vehicle they need to buy and give them 100 reasons why they should buy it. It is our job when a customer selects a car that they want to buy and then they say they have 2 or 3 more to look at and they want to leave, to influence and persuade them to spend their money with us, to buy from us and to buy it right now. It is our job. If you're not incredible at selling, guess what? You need to partner up with someone that can teach you how. I want to explain that to you. I don't care how great you think you are at closing. If you're not great at selling, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be sitting there with no customer to close. But now, let's go to the flip side. Let's say you're great at selling. And you know how to make somebody fall in love with a vehicle. You know how to, gosh, Andy, you're like, Andy, you know what? I get 50 write-ups a month, but I'm closing 10 or 15. Now, let me ask you this. We're talking about closing. We're talking about the last 10% of the time when you're collecting 100% of the money. Remember, money don't exchange hands while you're selling, okay? You're selling it, you're building the value. When people want something more than they want the money that they have in their pocket, they'll spend it. I get that. But closing and negotiating, what is that? That's where you're collecting all the money. Now, would you say there's a difference between closing a deal and closing it for all the money? Oh yeah, there is. I know guys right now, they're selling tons of cars at minis. You know how much money they make? 80 to 120 grand a year. And they're great salesmen. They're some of the best out there. 80 to 120 grand. But if you can become a deadly closer and be able to close anybody, anytime, any place, in person where you can put your arms around them and also on the phone, guess what happens? That number automatically goes to 250 to 450 easy. And people say, I've never seen anybody that's made money like that. Who are you comparing yourself to? What place are you looking at? It's going on all over the world. This year, I will train over 1,000 salesmen that will make over 400 grand. It will happen. I have guys doing it now. There are plenty of us that are already tracking it. And if you're saying, man, that just sounds unrealistic, do me a favor. Stick around for the belief down here in number 7. Because we're going to have a talk about that real quick, okay? Because if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. Whatever you think is going to happen, okay? Maybe it's time for you to change your beliefs. Let's not get there yet. Let's talk about the ability to be creative, okay? Everybody says, I can't get that. I can't get that. I can't get that. Talking about, hey, I'm like, hey, I got guys that are selling 30 to 40 cars a month off Craigslist. And you're like, well, my store doesn't let me post on Craigslist. Okay. All right, cool. No big deal. Let's move to one of the next 50 ideas there is. Guess what? Just because you can't have something that we talk about during training that another store can have, doesn't mean that you can't have something 10 times better than that, and you can become extremely good at it and then great at it so that you can create and make that your own niche to crush it. Listen, I'll help you come up with that. If you need any, if you think you have a niche and you want to talk about it, guys, look, I'll write my number here, 918-210-0254. Hey, shoot me a text, 918-210-0254. I'll help you find your niche and work it out. But there's something for you in your store. You have to have the ability to stay creative and find it. I call it being an inventor. Most of the time, when a guy's been in the business for 10,000 hours selling cars, we call him an expert, right? Problem is that guy, he's not creative anymore. He thinks he's got it pegged and he doesn't learn anymore. Then you got the new guy that is creative when he comes in. But guess what? He doesn't have the expert level. I want to tell you this. You have to be an inventor at all levels and find that new niche and crush it. All right, so let's talk about right here. Your life. It's like a bank account. Listen, I want to tell you this, all right? You get to decide what you do with your time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. You have to decide what you're going to do with your money. You have to decide what you're going to do with your marriage. You got to decide what you're going to do as a mother or a father. You got to decide what you're going to do with this as a business. You have to decide what you're going to do with your health. Listen, your health is pretty simple. If you don't go and exercise and eat right, your body won't get better. Would you agree? If you don't train and spend time training and spend money on training, you're not going to get better at your business and making more money. If you're not going to go and spend time each week with your husband or your wife, don't be surprised when you don't have a better marriage or when you're not close to your children. Listen, everything in life is like a bank account. You get out of it whatever you put into it. And it's so funny how people try to get 10 times more out of something than what they'll put into it. Imagine if you started putting 10 times more into something, what do you think would happen? Blow you away. All right, let's talk about the belief. And I want to say the double-minded here. First of all, the belief is how you see your life going. The best way to predict your future is to create it. With the things I'm telling you right now, you can start creating your best life now. Be careful here, because a lot of you guys will in the video, and I said this, I'd rather make a bad decision than make no decision at all. You'll make no decision. You will sit here and look at the things that you want, think about it, get excited for a second, and then go back to your old ways. Don't. Cross the line. Everything you want in life is right on the other side of you being uncomfortable. Listen, the difference between where you are now and where you want to go is the gap in your skill set. Never, ever forget that. And you have to go to deeper waters to play with bigger fish to get better. Think outside of your store. Compete with me. I would love to take you to a whole nother level and to show you I was just like you when I started with it. Nothing, and I promise you there's nothing that you've been through that I didn't have to go through myself as well. I will help you. You're welcome to text me. 918-210-0254. All right. Double-minded. Don't make a choice and then decide the next day to think differently. Whatever it is, the reason why it's uncomfortable and it's hard to achieve is because you haven't made it a habit yet. Since you haven't made it a habit, it feels awkward. When I first started going to the gym, I hated it too. I didn't like it. Guess what? A year later, I found myself saying, I love the gym, man. I love the gym. But you know what? It didn't start that way, okay? A lot of things that you're going to do in your life won't start with, I love doing this. But when they become habits and rituals, which, by the way, if you talk to millionaires in this world, right, do you know what they say? Habits and rituals are what create them and make them different from everyone else. So I want to tell you this. Change your beliefs, change your life, change your mind. All right, number 8. Last thing here. Let's talk about the potential that this business offers for anyone who is serious, will take it serious. Does that mean we won't have fun? No, man, we're going to have more fun than we ever had in our whole life. But you're going to have to take it serious. Why? Because it's your life. And if you don't take your life serious, will anyone else take it serious? No, man. So I want you to understand this. This business will pay you $100,000, $200,000, over and over and over again through the year. It'll pay you more than you ever thought you were worth because it's so thirsty for the next person to step up, raise their hand and say, I want to become the next top salesman in the country. I want to be that person. And by the way, I want to tell you this, just like when I was 18 with no car, no ride to work, broke, no mom growing up, the whole deal, I ain't a victim. You know what I am? I'm a person that decided to change my family tree. I wanted to make my dad proud and to show him that, guess what? I could become whatever I wanted despite what everyone said I couldn't become. Does that mean life will always be easy? No. Guys, I am so prepared for a roadblock to come in because it's going to come up in my life and it's going to come up in yours. And when it does, we're going to run right through it, okay? We're going to stay positive and we're not going to look back and we're not going to stay double-minded. So guys, remember this. Click on the link below. There's a PDF for the 4 types of salespeople. I want you to read it. I want you to identify where you're at. If you need anything, reach out to me, 918-210-0254. I hope this really helps you. These are the 8 things that help me crush it. Guys, have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon.